Coming up next on Arizona Horizons Journalists Roundtable, we'll discuss an eventful week involving President Trump and look at how Arizona's congressional delegation is responding to the administration's actions. The Journalists Roundtable is next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizons Journalists Roundtable. I'm Ted Simons. Joining us tonight, Steve Goldstein of KJZZ Radio, Mike Sunnix of the Phoenix Business Journal, and Dan Nowicki of the Arizona Republic. President Trump's actions and statements have dominated headlines this week, and it seems like for Steve, we can just get lost here. Yes. So let's try and get as linear as we can. We'll start with the president disclosing classified information. What exactly happened here, and why the uproar?
The president met with higher authorities from Russia in a private meeting to which U.S. media were not invited, but it turns out that a photographer from TASS from Russia was allowed in the meeting. And President Trump, from what we know, decided to let loose with some information related to ISIS. And it appears that the information, based on what we know as well, came from an Israeli source. And this was information that many people in the intelligence community are concerned that the president decided to share with Russia, which has been, obviously, for many, many decades, a concerning adversary of the U.S. So there is a lot of backlash to the president. Why did he give them this information? Why did he share it? And does it, in fact, hurt the U.S. in the future? And does it make it less likely for the intelligence community to want to give him information in the future?
An arrangement.
Did he put a source in danger, maybe? If they,
yeah, the
Israelis do have a double agent inside ISIS.
Well, the details are kept from allies. They're tightly restricted within the U.S. government, and yet there he goes, just almost in a braggadocio fashion.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it was described. Is that he was kind of bragging he has the best intelligence. Of kind of listen to this. But yeah, the White House says he didn't do anything wrong. He's appropriate for the president to share whatever intelligence he wants. So they kind of dispute the kind of gravity that the newspaper report.
Yeah, I think the information was on potential bombs or explosives in laptops, right, on airplanes, and there was a Russian jetliner taken down in Egypt that ISIS took credit for. He does have the right to do that as president. It's just usually presidents go through a process of talking to cabinet members, of talking to the national security advisor, of talking to intelligence agencies about what he can disclose to folks. Obviously, this president is not that formal in his protocols.
Right, yeah.
Of talking to the country that gave you the information in the first place. Israel, we didn't even know it was Israel at first. We find out it's Israel.
That was through reporting, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't say, hey, go ahead and do this.
Yeah, so the president has the power to do that. It's just he really did not go along with how other past presidents have gone through these things.
It was questioned how deliberative it even was. Did he just blurt it out? Did he mean to do it when he was going into the meeting? Not clear.
Well, I think that's a challenge that he's faced, is how he's not deliberative in his language, in his protocols. He just talks off the cuff. We'll get to stuff later, but he does a lot of trash talking. He does a fair amount of bragging, and whether that's allowed or not allowed, it certainly had its political detriment to him.
And Ted, I spoke with a former CIA operative this week who is really concerned that this is the attitude that there isn't, yes, the intelligence community needs to share this information with the president, but then what does the president do with it? Does he actually consider how important this information is, or does he just sort of, President Trump, for better or worse, is a braggart? There's no question about that.
Well, and we had heard that the Obama administration, before the transition, some people in justice were telling everyone, be careful of what you tell to some of these folks over here with the Trump people, because you don't know what they're going to say.
Right. And, just this whole meeting is turning out to be a pretty big liability for the president in retrospect.
Yeah, well, before we get to that now, Dan, as far as response from Senators McCain and Flake, they understood the seriousness of the situation?
Right, yeah, and certainly Senator McCain, who's obviously a big-time critic of Vladimir Putin. Putin returned the favor by sanctioning McCain. McCain takes that as like a point of pride that he's been sanctioned by Putin, but he says that should be something that is investigated, part of this broader investigation that McCain wants Congress to undertake into Russia and the election. But he wants to look into the intelligence as well. And he even goes further. He doesn't even think that Trump should have let the foreign minister of Russia in the Oval Office. He took affront to that.
I think he described it as a couple of old KGB operatives, apparatchiks, were involved in the White House. And again, as Steve mentioned, there wasn't even the TASS photographers in there and no American photographers.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of PR issues with that and the beyond just the imagery of that. Of course, McCain and Trump aren't exactly buddies, and they've had their run-ins too. And so McCain has emerged as one of the most public kind of folks on the Republican side to criticize the president.
I think McCain would criticize any president who would give classified information.
Well, they certainly have a history together dating back to Trump's jabs about the POW.
Oh, sure,
McCain not supporting him. So there's not a lot of warm blood there.
All right, so we had this. And this was a very big blow-up. Before the cloud even dispersed, Steve, we've got the New York Times reporting that the president asked the FBI director at the time, Mr. Comey, to let the investigation of his national security advisor, Mr. Flynn, to, quote, let it go.
That is a major concern as well, because then we turn around. This happened in February, so it's been a couple of months since then. But then President Trump goes ahead and fires the FBI director, James Comey. Coming back to one thing, we talk about Senator McCain not being a real fan of President Trump at this point. There are some who are seeing the consideration of Joseph Lieberman as possible FBI director, a longtime crony of Senator McCain, as a way to sort of, let's get in someone that may get some of our critics off our backs, namely McCain and Graham. But this Comey thing, there's a lot more to it, because even Jeff Flake is saying, were there recordings? The president sent out a tweet saying, oh, he better hope there aren't tapes of this, whatnot.
Oh, and no one would say, are there recordings, if not for the president, who, again, just couldn't help himself and talked about, again, in a kind of a junior high school threatening manner, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the tweets, the trash talking, and we'll get to some of the other comments that he made. This was his hallmark during the campaign. It's what he did to his GOP rivals. It's what he did to Senator McCain, Senator Flake, other folks, Hillary Clinton, and that hasn't stopped. As soon as he's been in the Oval Office, he hasn't had that kind of discipline on that. So it continues to get him in trouble. I don't know if we'll ever see this president change that. This is how this guy is built, and maybe he thrives on these types of interactions and he likes being in the spotlight, and this has certainly kept him in the spotlight.
And Jeff Flake has been kind of in a precarious position. He's got a primary he's got to get through. He's up for election in 2018. Doesn't really want to kick the hornet's nest of stirring up the Trump base. But he is on the Judiciary Committee, and I talked to him, and he did say that sort of the suggestion that maybe he was leaning on Comey to back off the investigation and then fired him several weeks later is something different. And that's why Flake wrote the letter to Chuck Grassley, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, saying, subpoena any tapes and evidence if that's what you have to do to get them. Well,
the tapes also bring up a previous president that had tapes, and that's where the parallels come in. And you saw McCain even compare this to Watergate. If there's tapes, if there's a fight over tapes, that's something that could really resonate with everyday folks. I think this is where there's a challenge here politically with everything. Is somebody that's out there working 9 to 5? How much are they paying attention to all this noise? If there are tapes and Trump doesn't want to turn them over, that's a problem. That's something that will resonate with people. Comey's going to go to testify before Senate Intelligence. Maybe we'll see this memo because the reports were a Comey associate reading this memo, parts of this memo, to folks from the New York Times and other reporters. We haven't seen this yet, so he may produce it. I talked to an attorney about this, and they said a lot of attorneys, a lot of law enforcement will make these memos, take these memos right after meetings, especially when they think something is maybe inappropriate or just something notable. So this is something that a lot of attorneys do in law school, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he had a memo like this.
And coming back to the tape comparison that Mike made, you and I both had a chance to talk with former U.S. Attorney Paul Charlton, who has very much called this Nixonian. This is just like Watergate. He was also a big fan of the job that James Comey was doing. So are these the people that Donald Trump doesn't really care about? Because is his base, he'll criticize the trial lawyers or whatever. If his base still loves him, he may think that's good enough.
But again, Trump was saying that he was, quote, thinking about the FBI investigation into contacts between his campaign and the Russians when he fired him. I mean, this is serious stuff here.
And he supposedly told the Russians that, that relieved some pressure.
Exactly. I think after he called Comey a nut job.
Right. So, yeah, exactly. So it's kind of Trump really is his own worst enemy in terms of his legal trouble. He certainly is getting under a lot of scrutiny. He's under a lot of heat, but he's not helping himself by keeping his mouth shut.
Well, not to be too flip, Ted, but this is what you get when you get a big businessman, perhaps, in the White House, where he decides, well, this is how I would do it if I were running my company. But it's a little bit different.
It's the difference between the CEO
this thing with Comey
and
is
the
a
president.
perfect example of that. He asked to talk to Comey privately with Pence and other folks out of the room. CEOs do that a lot when they're cutting a deal or they want to talk about something. Can you excuse us? And again, there's certainly comparisons to Nixon's, but there's also, is this just a guy that trash talks, doesn't watch his language? He was like that on the campaign trail. He's been like that for years. And whether that crosses the line of obstruction of justice or something else is a big question.
And the Nixon administration veterans I've talked to take umbrage at that.
Yeah.
They don't like to hear Trump compared to Nixon.
And again, as you mentioned, when this first came out, Flake had a tweet, I believe. I've spent the last several hours trying to find an acceptable rationale for the timing of Comey's firing. I just can't do it. And then, as you just referred to a little bit ago, I mean, he says compel with subpoenas if necessary. Now, does Trump turn around and find out whoever wants to challenge Jeff Flake and say that's my candidate?
That could happen. I think one thing for Trump is that this is going to take up a lot of his bandwidth dealing with all these investigations. And is he really going to have the clout and to start running primary opponents against some of these?
Well, Kelly Ward's in. She lost to McCain. She's an underdog.
Right.
But, Jeff DeWitt, who was a state treasurer, who was Trump's, COO or during the campaign, if he would get in, then that might change the dynamic a little bit.
I want to get to that in just a second here, but let's keep the timeline moving, because next we find out that a special counsel, former FBI Director Robert Mueller, has been named to look into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. Lindsey Graham now says this is a criminal investigation.
Well, with Robert Mueller's background, someone who served as FBI director for a Republican president and a Democratic president, this is seen as someone who can go in clean and really wipe things away. And yes, when you bring in a heavyweight like Mueller, and the president, of course, unhappy about this, Jeff Sessions had already made it so he was not involved in the situation, so Rosenstein brings him in. This is very serious when you decide, now this could also, having a heavy hitter like Mueller, this could make it go away in the sense that we had this guy go through it. This guy is above board, so we're clear or we're not. It could go in very different directions here.
But there was already a revelation Friday in the Washington Post that this investigation is reaching, I think they put it at the highest levels of government, and there's at least one current White House official who's a significant person of interest in that probe. And
we're seeing the White House counsel now, apparently, we're seeing a little bit of strategy here. They're throwing a little bit of a dirt over on Mueller's way, saying that he can't, because he worked for a certain organization, he can't use people from the organization going back to where he once worked before, his previous job, et cetera, trying to muddy him up a little bit.
Yeah, I think, most folks see, I know he's a former FBI director, has a lot of respect, worked for I think both Bush and Obama. The stuff that's coming politically, we always talk about the intelligence community, these leaks and the animus and the distrust of the president, but you hear what McCain and Graham and Flake and these folks keep saying, and those were folks that Trump went after pretty hard and pretty bitter during the campaign, and so there's some political birds coming home to roost a bit.
And we should say that both Senators McCain and Flake praised Mueller's naming to the position. President Trump not so much, called it the single greatest witch hunt in American political history.
He made a speech and made it very much about himself, as he often does, saying that, well, this is not verbatim, but basically, has there ever been a politician who was hit as hard and as criticized as hard as I have been?
All right, let's now move. Okay. The congressional response, we've kind of touched on it for each one of these major issues. We could have gone into side issues and had a diagram like you get in English class in junior high school. We're not going there. But the congressional response, are we hearing enough from Senator Flake especially to satisfy Republican primary voters?
Well, it remains to be seen, I think, a little bit. He's been trying to, be a good team player, I think. He obviously opposed Flake Flake opposed Trump during the election. He never endorsed him. He said he didn't vote for him. So that kind of, when Trump wound up winning, that kind of put him in a tough spot. But he's been trying to be, I think, as good as he can, a kind of a team player. But I think we might be at kind of a tipping point here, just based on my conversations with Senator Flake this week. He does seem to think something has changed, and I think you might see him being a little bit more aggressive. You know, obviously you saw that raucous town hall in Mesa where he was getting attacked from the other side, that not doing enough to stand up to Trump.
Right.
Trump lapdog.
Well, he voted
for Betsy DeVos.
Yeah,
That was like,
he voted for most or all of Trump's.
As did Senator McCain.
Yeah, McCain had a trade rep. I think he didn't, but yeah, they stuck with the party line on that. But I think Republicans are at a crossroads. Are they going to stick with Trump, or are they going to stand up for him? Are they going to wait and see, or are they going to abandon ship?
Kelly Ward has already released a statement. Democrats and Jeff Flake are suffering from Trump derangement syndrome.
This is chemtrail, Kelly, right?
That's right.
This is, yeah.
Yes.
I think that at this point, Jeff DeWitt is a better bet to actually challenge Jeff Flake, because Kelly Ward has a very limited, even in a conservative Republican primary voter outlook, she is simply too weak a candidate. Jeff Flake is a lot stronger than we give him credit for, I think. And in a general election, he's almost unbeatable.
And one big difference when Kelly Ward ran against John McCain, she was able to tap a lot of outside money from conservative groups, activists who would like to basically write a check to anybody who's running against John McCain in a GOP primary. I think she's finding it's not so easy against Jeff Flake, even though he did get some national notoriety for opposing Trump. He's not as well known as McCain.
All these conservative groups don't necessarily like McCain. I mean, the Koch brother folks were the ones that kind of derailed the Obamacare repeal when it first started. They're not with Trump on NAFTA and free trade. And so some of these conservative folks that might oppose McCain because he's not conservative enough aren't exactly, you know, they kind of like Flake on a lot of policy issues.
What about Paul Gosar? A quote from Paul Gosar. Overtly hostile media complex attacks him, the president, daily. There's a deep state embedded operatives. There are deep state embedded operatives undermining the president's agenda. He's in big.
When you have a president who says he's going to go drain the swamp, and when Steve Bannon we were hearing from him a lot as a major advisor, a lot of this came down to, we want to disrupt these institutions. We want to bring down perhaps even trust in them, which to some extent people believe has happened. So Paul Gosar is clearly on that team. Gosar is also in a very, very safe district, which he did not used to be in.
Yeah, so you think he's not going to stay in the district?
I think a lot of the reaction has to do with the congressional map. You have the two senators who obviously have statewide concerns, and Martha McSally in southern Arizona, who's in a tough competitive district. You know, they're a lot different than the Paul Gosars, the Trent Frankses,
and the Andy Biggs. Andy Biggs, who wrote an op-ed piece in the Washington Examiner called these bogus allegations by the radical media. That's you. That's the radical media. Media and Democrats trying to bamboozle the country.
We like the word bamboozle, not used well enough. This deep state thing, you hear this on Fox News, you hear this from Sean Hannity.
What does that mean? Explain it.
It means the establishment, the folks that are embedded in New York and Washington, and maybe California, the intelligence community, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and they're fighting back against Trump's efforts to drain the swamp. And so it goes to discredit some of these anonymous sources, some of these memos, some of these inside looks at meetings, where these leaks are coming from. And it's not that it questions the credibility of whether these reports are not only accurate, but what's behind them, the agenda behind them, because they want to stop Trump because they despise him and hate him so much.
Now, Ted, I didn't read the Andy Biggs piece, but was liberal elite used in there at all? Because that seems to be a good
I didn't
phrase.
find liberal elite.
Okay.
I guess the radical media was used more than once.
Right.
And bamboozle will always stop you.
Well, and then of course this week Roger Ailes passed, and some would give him credit or blame for dividing the media landscape as it is now.
Schweikert talked about the chattering class bathing in the noise. So, Dan, you follow as far as our congressional delegation is concerned, especially Senators Flake and McCain. I mean, back in Watergate, for those of us who can remember back that far, Arizona senators and Arizona representatives played a major part in the end days of Watergate. Are we going to see something similar this go-around?
Well, you think maybe a guy like John McCain might have the stature of a Barry Goldwater. I think there might be a difference just in the sense that, one of the reasons, Nixon wanted to talk to Goldwater at the end was because Goldwater had a very, a big reputation as a straight shooter. He wasn't going to BS Nixon about what the landscape was for him. And you can say McCain has that same reputation, but I don't know if Trump would agree with that.
Well, and you could have, you had John Rhodes back in those days as well,
the
which a flake could be a John Rhodes. But the President
from
Nixon,
Mesa.
Yeah, but you know, President Nixon respected these folks, and he wasn't embattled with these. I mean, I don't think Trump can even look at John McCain or Jeff Flake right now.
No, and you know, it's a big different dynamic. You had Democrats in charge of Congress during Watergate. You got Republicans now. I talked to somebody. I think what you need 60 Republicans to switch in the House for impeachment and in the Senate to get it through. That's a lot to overcome. And so if something like that, the I word, right, is going to ever happen, it's not going to happen until the midterm elections and if there's a sea change there. But I think you're right. Trump is, I could see the Trump and the Trump camp just doubling down, tripling down. That seems to be what they're doing. They're not pulling back, despite a lot of political folks, PR folks that would encourage him to maybe quiet down a bit.
All right, let's take a break from Trump here. I want to get to unfinished legislative business. And things that we've talked a lot about the legislative session here on the program, but there are things that weren't addressed during the session. And Steve, Prop 301, the sales tax for public education, that's going to have to be addressed here in the next few years. Not a peep this session. Surprised?
I am surprised, especially because early on in the session on the radio, my colleagues and I spoke with Paul Boyer, who is known for being very involved in education at the legislature, is a Republican, so one would think he could potentially have some juice for an issue like this. And he had said long before Diane Douglas came out and said she would support not only an extension, but making that sales tax permanent, said this is something that needs to happen. And Governor Ducey, of course, after Prop 123, people are wondering what is next. And now we're looking at these sort of tepid teacher raises.
And we had House Speaker and Senate President on the show this week to talk about a variety of issues, including this. And their idea is, hey, you know, it doesn't expire till the end of 2020. We still have time.
Even if we were going to put it on the 2018 ballot, this session, next session, either way it gets you to the 2018 ballot. I'm skeptical we'd do it that soon, but between 2018 or 2020, I think you'll see a lot of support for extending it.
But I certainly would predict extending it. I just don't know whether it's going to increase because the difference between 1 cent and 6/10 of a cent is a very substantial difference.
Yes, it is. So, how likely will this be addressed, do you think, even in the next session?
I think that's up to the governor, right? You talk to business folks, the Chamber of Commerce crowd likes this, Diane Douglas likes this, teachers unions like this. There's a lot of consensus for this outside of maybe some fiscal conservative anti-tax folks. You always have a few folks that say, why are we always going to sales taxes? Those are regressive. But there's a lot of consensus for this, and everybody seems to be for it, but I think we're all waiting on the head cheese up there.
Well, also with Speaker Mesner, that's interesting because we've seen how economic downturns can affect priorities. And I would think people would want to get this as quickly as possible because between 2018 and 2020, who knows if we're in another recession? Well,
and who knows if something like a lawsuit regarding restoring soft capital funding doesn't come back and really make a difference as far as the budget is concerned. There is a lawsuit regarding K-12 capital projects. The legislature, I think, passed $63 million for new construction, $17 million for repairs, nothing for what some say is between $2 and $4 billion of lost revenue over the years that should have been going to the schools. Asked the Speaker about that. When is that restoration going to happen?
Well, and the President and I at the beginning of session were raising the red flag about the possibility of a lawsuit, and I think the additional capital investment that's in this budget shows that we're trying to remedy that. I don't know if it's quite the $4 billion number, but obviously there's something, and we're going to have to look at it, and I'm sure it'll play out over the coming years.
Steve, are lawmakers taking this seriously?
It didn't sound like Speaker Mesner was taking it as seriously as people would like, although with Tim Hogan, he's very loud about some of these lawsuits. Big question for me, Ted, is we look at how long it took when Governor Ducey stepped in to settle another lawsuit. Who's going to be governor when this lawsuit is settled or not? And will it be settled? I mean, Prop 123 was settled, 70, 80 cents on the dollar, whatever the resulting number was. Some folks, that barely squeaked by because it had to change, had to go to a public vote. I mean, were we going to go through all of this process again?
The legislature, the Republicans down there tend to want to play chicken with these things, sue us, right? Wait till somebody sues them and then wait to see what the courts say and then maybe try to settle and then go to the voters sometimes or try to settle this via budget. And so I think they are playing chicken with this a bit, but I think they're going to let things play out kind of legally first.
All right, before we go, Dan, you've been covering obviously the congressional delegation, right. Senators Flake and McCain especially here regarding the whole Trump situation. In the grand scheme of things, do Americans care.
Oh, about the Trump story?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a great drama going on. It's great television. I think there's a lot more people paying attention to politics than probably any time in recent years.
Because we've heard that this is a very big story inside the Beltway and for those who like to follow these kinds of things, the media especially, but that the average Joe working 9 to 5 all week doesn't have time for this.
Well, average Joe, maybe not. I do think that the audience numbers have risen, the numbers of readers have, reader interest has risen, but yeah, there's probably a lot of people still tuned out. And there may even be some Trump supporters who are tuning out the media intentionally. They're sick of hearing Trump get beat up all the time.
All right, well, we'll see what happens next week in this time of massive change. Monday on Arizona Horizon, we will check out the state's 2017 Spelling Bee champion in action. And we'll learn about a planetary stethoscope that could tell us more about one of the moons of Jupiter. Those stories Monday, 5:30 and 10, right here on Arizona Horizon. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great weekend.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Yupa's Thai Kitchen in Tempe features fresh, authentic Thai cuisine and vegetarian Thai dishes served in a homeland-style decor